just wanna be free with my people to prosper and hold it down. Don't you sit and wait, contemplating on a revolution. The time is now. I just wanna be free. 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 Can't you see? I just wanna be free.
Okay. Another episode of the Things I Wish I Knew About Money podcast. I'm your host, Camille Smith. Y'all, I am so sorry. As you can see, I'm a bit late with this premiere. I was popped down during the long weekend and all that good stuff. But I have to be consistent and always give you guys something exciting to talk about. So here I am, and I am not alone. I wanted to bring on a special guest, a lady that I have been following for a good while, and we were finally able to meet in person during Caravan Weekend. And welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know it's Caravan Weekend,
Hi.
right?
Yeah.
Welcome.
I'm like, ooh, that feels like a while ago. We're in fall
I,
now, so it's like
I, right? From summer
fall
to
is
fall.
summer. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
welcome. It's a
Hi.
pleasure to have you
Thank
on
you for
here.
having me.
No problem. And what? We were talking about it offline like 2018, 2019 that we've been
Yeah,
following each
yeah,
other.
yeah,
And we
yeah,
literally
yeah. Met for the first time. Like what was that, a month ago now? Yeah, about a
a
month.
month and a
Or is
bit.
that two
And
months?
I guess it's technically 2 months. Jeez, the time is going
Yeah.
honestly, 2013 or ooh, 13 wow
2023.
2023 ooh sorry, going back in the future or the
Yeah,
past has been going by so quick
too
that
quickly.
it's outrageous. But
Yeah. Yeah.
geez, we
You
we
know,
were able
I'll enjoy the time as
exactly.
it slips away from you because that's what it feels like it's doing.
Yeah,
But oh well.
right? And it is the long weekend in
Hmm.
Canada. I want to say it's a long weekend in the States, but they don't really recognize it as much as we recognize like Thanksgiving. I think they have Columbia's Day. So for the
Yeah,
American folks, I know this is a sticky type of a holiday. So
yeah.
if anyone's, giving thanks for seeing another day or another weekend, then boom, bam, bam. And I know I didn't give you the memo, but it's all good because you have pink somewhere. But it is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month as well. So I was
Hmm.
wearing, trying to do the pink just to represent because it's the first episode of the month. So, wow. So, since we've been connected or following each other for the last 5 years, how have things been for you? Or let the folks know who you are, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Um, so my name's Eshe. I wow, 5 years, my goodness. I five
No
years
pressure.
ago, I graduated from university, and so since then, I've kind of been learning and growing in my respective fields.
Mhm.
Started out when I was at York doing like suicide alertness trainings. Now I am a financial advisor, so I offer insurance products as a broker. And in addition to that, I also have a small business called Sugar Plum Scrubs. So I sell um, self care products, skincare products, and things like that. And so I travel throughout Ontario to not only like deliver services for different people, but also to deliver trainings and to do markets and so on. So I
Nice.
like to keep myself busy.
Don't we all?
um, right. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and so I'm definitely I feel like the past 5 years have taught me a lot,
Mhm.
and going into, next year with uh, hopefully clarity um, as well as like a newfound appreciation for some of the experiences that I've had thus far. So yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Hmm.
And I feel like um because you've been growing, because since even the hair, the dreads gang and all
Yeah,
that good stuff.
yeah. Too long, too
I
long.
I'm
Too long,
noticing
way too
that,
long.
but it's all good. Um, I've noticed that you, especially back in the day, like it was consistent, and then I noticed it again once around, like with the networking event, that you're being more consistent, and you wanted to be very intentional when it came to going to like these networking things. So what
Yep.
was your game plan when you went to the EYL event in Toronto during Caravana?
That is a great question. So, the reason why I knew about that event goes
Mhm.
back to years ago when I first started investing. I followed like a social media influencer, not an influencer
Nice.
per se, but he was an investor and
Hmm.
he was affiliated with Earn Your Leisure, I believe at other conferences that they posted.
Hmm.
And because I enrolled in like his program just to kind of see what was going on with investing
Yeah.
within the States and how that contrasted to here in Canada, I had
Okay.
found out about the Earn Your Leisure networking event.
Nice.
And so I wanted to bring my brother along so that, he could also experience um, seeing young Black men who are like actively engaged in the community and learning about investing and all the different like avenues that investing could take. And then, of course, for myself, because I felt like I haven't really been networking within Toronto over the past couple of years, especially due to COVID. Um,
Hmm.
and I've spent a lot of time outside of the country, but felt that it's time to kind of reconnect with the networks I have here in Toronto. So that event, I was able to see a lot of people that I recognized and I've known, um, and kind of get updated on what people are doing and what's new in the community. So that was nice.
I'm glad that you're able to bring your brother to get that
Yeah.
experience, because yeah, there was a lot of um gentlemen and ladies there, and it was, even though it was a little intimidating at first,
Mhm.
because
It was a
like I
lot of
feel like
people.
mhm
It was
I
a
feel like
lot
with
of people.
the real estate, like crowd is a different crowd as like personal finance, but at least your brother was able to get that experience and be able
Yeah.
to see different industries in one
Mhm.
in one setting, and that's very beneficial. And we did something that was beneficial even during Caravana weekend. I said I had like
Exactly.
a what abnormal Caravana, which is fine because
Yeah.
networking and all that great stuff. So so how do you compare that? Because I remember we were talking like offline, like, oh, come here, I'm gonna be going to Invest Fest, and I'm like, I really want to
I
go, but I
know.
can't.
I
Um,
know.
how? So what triggered you to go, or not trigger, but what convinced you to go to InvestFest? Because I'm pretty sure obviously it was that event, but what like said, nah, I got to go to this.
Yeah, I actually, so um in May I had gone to another event. It was called Africon. So it was another
Okay.
conference. It was a little more focused on Africa and, I guess just the diaspora and investing within the diaspora in America, the African
Hmm.
diaspora in America. And so I really enjoyed that because it was a networking opportunity where you were kind of getting to meet all different types of people from different industries and having conversations about how they've leveled up in their careers or in their business and so on. Met a lot of really cool people there. And I also and I met Earn Your Leisure there as well.
Nice.
Um, and the interesting about that is when I saw them, I guess that kind of had me tune into the fact that they were promoting their Invest Fest. Or actually, I'd known about it, but then when I
Yeah.
saw them, I was like, oh yeah, they're having Invest Fest. So then when I went to the Earn Your Leisure event in Toronto, it had
Mm-hmm.
like just been on my radar. And
Yes.
then fast forward, I believe it was like about 4 weeks later, right? Around that time.
Mm,
Yeah, that they had
literally.
Invest Fest. And I just decided to go because um, I really like Steve Harvey because some of the things he said has kind of motivated me, like in business myself, in
Yeah.
terms of like how to um, definitely like the consistency piece, but also like how to envision something bigger for yourself and then work towards it.
Yeah.
Um, but in addition to that, I do vendor markets throughout Ontario, and they had an option to be a vendor at that event. And I
Mm,
had been toying with that idea and opted instead to actually go and check it out and see what the experience was like, and
okay.
then make a decision from that. So, kind of two things. Definitely wanted to do the networking piece, but was more so focused on connecting with people within the vendor marketplace, and then also, listening to the motivational stuff with Steve
Yes.
Harvey. I believe it
Mm,
was Diddy, and then some other like
yeah.
notable
Or love.
figures too.
Now. I'm joking. We can still call him Diddy.
I don't know. I don't follow that too much, but
Mm-hmm.
it was nice to hear some stories about what people were doing and how they went about building themselves or rebranding themselves. Because we know that Diddy has done that a lot. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes.
Hmm.
All right. So your biggest inspiration was Steve Harvey. And
Hmm.
were you able to hear his
I did,
discussion with
yeah. I
okay,
did. I think his discussion,
with
um,
Robin F. Smith.
yes,
Yeah.
Robert, I think.
Robert, yeah. Robert F. Smith.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
I was never, um, I feel like I was aware of him, but wasn't familiar with the story behind
Okay.
where he was coming from. And so I think that was probably the most powerful piece of the InvestFest conference entirely, where you're kind of hearing about um, his career trajectory through an investment firm and what that
Mm-hmm.
was able to do for him. And then the back and forth between him and Steve Harvey was, I think, really valuable to see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's something that we don't. I'm sure we get a little bit of it here in Toronto, but at that magnitude,
Yeah.
um, was valuable, especially in a place like
Awesome.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Because woof, Atlanta is a great spot. I feel like Atlanta is like the hub for like a lot of black entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine how the energy
Mm,
was. Were you able to? Because usually I heard like good stuff, bad stuff, what could have been fixed and all that stuff. But how
yeah.
was your overall experience? And I'm not. If you don't want to say it, it's cool. Were you able to get like the basic pass or the VIP?
Oh, I so when I had gone to African months back, I had
Hmm.
done the VIP type of
Okay.
scenario. This
Okay.
time around, I was like, I really didn't know what like this would entail. Like I had no idea. It's not
Okay.
like I was going and looking at like recaps of previous years. So I said,
Hmm.
I want to get
Taste.
an overview on what this is, and how
Hmm.
beneficial this could be. So I went with the general admission because my priority was to visit the vendor marketplace and have conversations with the businesses in that space.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah.
That makes
So
sense.
that said, though, I could
Hmm.
definitely see value in the VIP experience. The only challenge is for me, when it comes to networking, I prefer to network sideways.
Mm, mm,
because
mm.
networking up hasn't necessarily been beneficial for me.
Okay.
Um,
Mm.
all that to say,
I'm gonna ask you a question about that
yeah,
because
yeah,
I.
yeah,
Okay, that's interesting. Cause
yeah.
when you say networking sideways, is that like obviously with the because you do have different businesses, right? You have
Hmm.
the financial advisory, or sorry, a financial advisor, and then you also have your self care. When it comes to networking sideways, is it people that are on like I guess the same level, but not like as a mentorship, uh, kind of sort of?
What I mean by that is, like, I got the greatest value
Mhm.
being in the room with most people who I guess would be considered my peers, right? So people
Got it.
who had
Okay.
bought their tickets, came out, you
Hmm.
know, it wasn't necessarily people who had received tickets and were,
Okay.
sponsors for the event. For me, the most value came from talking to other people who also valued the event um,
Hmm.
enough to, come on out and see what was going on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the people who attended, and it's the same thing I would say for Invest Fest, a lot of the people who attended would have
Mhm.
done the general admission. Um, but even more so, then there were the businesses who were in the vendor marketplace section who brought their business and were prepared to like
Mhm.
have conversations with people and let people know what they were doing. Um, so that was really valuable. The thing with InvestFest though is general
Mhm.
admission. There were a lot of people, and I did not expect there to be that many people. Um,
Mhm.
there were so many people that it felt a bit like a concert, so it almost felt weird to be networking, if that makes
Okay.
sense. It's almost like you
Okay.
had to go with your people. Although,
Mm.
when it comes to networking, there would definitely have been in that particular space, you probably have a lot more luck if you were. I thought it was smart. You had people who were handing out flyers. You had people who were, doing interviews with people. So I could see that being a more valuable way of kind of connecting. But for
Okay.
me, I did meet, like, I would say maybe 5, 10, 15 people who I'm staying connected with now, who are in
Nice.
similar industries as I am. And so I think that was really valuable.
Okay, that's a great idea. Is like making sure that the individuals that you network sideways align with your values,
Yeah,
and you're able to keep that special bond relationship or partnership, so you're able to work with
yeah,
them in the future. And
yeah.
did you go by yourself or you went with someone?
So I went by myself, as in like I
Okay.
coordinated to go myself, but
Okay.
met up with some other business owners and people who I was familiar with who are here in
Mhm.
Canada, but hadn't had an opportunity to really connect with. So by going to
Mhm.
an event that we all valued, I was able to connect with
Be
people
able
who I wouldn't
to, okay.
otherwise have had the chance to as well. So that was also
Nice.
a benefit.
Okay. So it seems like you were able to maximize on the
Hmm.
networking event and
Hmm.
all that great stuff. Do you
Yeah.
plan on attending? Well, I think they have one in Chicago happening,
The Market
Chi-Town.
Monday.
Yeah. But they were here in
Mm,
Toronto. So, I mean, well, I shouldn't say this. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the same like
yeah.
everywhere, but I feel like you did get some value with going to Invest Fest.
Hmm.
Um is there any other advice that you would give someone that is planning on attending any networking events? Like what's the one key thing that they should try to strive with when it comes to networking events or conferences,
Hmm.
events, 'Cause I feel like you're the guru of those.
Definitely not a guru, but I do think that the couple events that I have been to lately
Mhm,
have kind of
mhm,
given me a little bit of an idea about how to approach conferences and things like that in the future. For
mhm,
me, I know that, definitely being prepared for what exactly you're wanting from that conference. Like, what are you going for? Is it networking in an attempt to get partnerships? Is it networking in an attempt to get exposure or recognition for your
mhm,
brand? Is it, selling?
mhm.
Because for me, I find more value in the connections that I make if I'm like actually at a vendor table type of scenario where I'm selling my products, or booth where I'm selling my
True.
products and talking to people and showing them what I do. Um, Now, when it comes to going to events like mixers and networking, like with people, I definitely get a lot of value from those when they're a lot smaller in size. So for
Okay.
me, the smaller events in terms of the networking are better, which
Mhm.
is why
More
even at
intimate.
an event like, exactly, like even at an event like Investors, I'm sure they had for the VIP guests a lot of very like quaint, um, intimate opportunities to connect. So I could
Yes.
see, buying into the VIP experience being very beneficial.
Mhm.
Um, but for smaller conferences or events, I could see there being value in going because, just striking up a conversation with the person next to you can be
Adds
very
value.
exciting. You can learn a lot from people.
Mhm.
Whereas, it can be a bit much trying to, bombard some of the bigger names unless you
True.
have like a very strategic plan or you're giving them something. You might want to, have you want to have a very clear idea about what you're going to gain from going, and then that's what you work towards. So that's what I say. I think you're
Yes.
noticing that my light is very quickly running away
No
from me.
worries.
I'm gonna see what I can do.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's funny that you say that. I agree with the more intimate conferences or events. I find that you're
Hmm.
able, there you go, able
Yeah.
to find more value and get aligned with a lot of folks. But I
Hmm.
just remembered that there is a new I'm gonna say a pop-up store in Mississauga, and
Hmm.
I think someone is there.
I
Can
am.
you tell the
Yeah, I
folks
am.
about that as well? Because
Yeah.
um Dale, big up Dale. Dale
Yes.
is the guy that if you want someone to be your hype man, Dale is
Hmm.
the guy. And I acknowledge
You
when
better
he
tag him in this.
I oh best believe Dale me
Mm.
like big up Dale like always. He was showing off your products, and that's one thing about I think like the one thing about networking is also showing support,
Yeah.
and also seeing how even if we meet someone in the states, how we're able to bring it back to like our town and then just worldwide in general. So how is that experience being in Mississaugas, if you can talk about it, because I know I didn't ask that
Yeah,
question
sure.
originally, but yeah.
Yeah, no problem. So that is a little bit of a different scenario. So it's a
Mhm,
pop-up store, and I'll kind of walk you through what they're doing. So the
mhm.
owner's name is Julianne. She has
Julianne.
a business called Réveiller Afrique. And so she
OMG,
has offered
have
the
to find that.
space to, yeah, she's offered the space to different entrepreneurs well, different business owners who sell products
Mhm.
specifically, who want to have their products on display. I believe it's going on from now until December. And so I have my products there. Um, and I feel like I haven't even said anything about my product. So the business itself is called Sugar Plum
Yeah, yeah,
Scrubs,
yeah.
and I
Hype
make,
it up, hype it up.
mhm. I make body scrubs and lip scrubs. I make facial scrubs, and all these
Okay.
products double as like aromatherapy. So when you're in your shower or you're in your space, you're
Mm-hmm.
able to kind of feel relaxed and rejuvenated by virtue of using the product. Um, and so it's like a bit of a spa, but in a jar, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so I have my products there at Square One, and people are able to sample them and then get them with like free. They get a free spoon with it. They're on discount from the prices usually on my website, so
Hmm.
that's a bit of a benefit. And so,
Nice.
yeah, so the store there, they offer different African owned, Black owned brands, as well as some other brands. And so it's a really great place if you're thinking about buying things for the holidays, for gifts, for yeah, check out the store in Square One, and then of course you can check out my website too, which is sugarplumscrubs.ca, where you can also buy your
Absolutely.
gifts.
I'll
Yeah,
put the and it's a perfect timing, right? Because
yeah,
it's we're now in the holiday season,
yeah.
and
You know,
I don't know.
as soon as the 31st, as soon as everyone hangs up their Halloween costumes, it's just Christmas all over the place.
I
And you know
know
what? I don't mind the music and the the little bit of holly jolly, but it's also going to be cold. So get your
it's
scrubs
already
so that
cold.
your skin is moisturized.
I was just about to say, like
Yeah.
last week, it was like nice, good up. You
Hmm.
wanted to wear
Hmm.
nice clothes and stuff, and then what? By I think like Friday, I can't
Hmm.
even say Saturday because I was popped down. Like it drastically got cold, and you
It
know
did.
when it gets
It
cold.
did. Yeah, it's the worst. It's the worst. I'm trying to see if there's another light here. It's driving me
No worries.
crazy
Like
how quickly the light just escaped on me. I don't know what happened.
it. That's how
But
you know winter's coming.
yeah, yeah.
I
Give
I
me
don't
no
even
notice.
know. I don't even know when what daylight savings time is, probably next week or something, because the
Is
way
it?
let me double check. Let me double check.
No, I think
Cause
you might be right. You might be right.
cause
What
oh,
does it say?
November 5th. Oh, okay, so we still have some time. We
Yeah.
literally have like a month left. Until it, like, the clock goes forward. Yeah, goes forward. So it's gonna be
Yeah.
gosh, that's when it gets really dark. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Yeah, it's clearly already dark in my space. So let me, because this is like, it's gonna get worse. And I'm thinking I should probably
OMG.
solve this problem from now. And
No
there was a
worries.
light at this desk, but I can't find it.
No
Someone hid
worries.
it from me.
But let's see. So you have the pop up. Has this been your first pop up, or have you experienced being a vendor at certain other pop up stores? Ooh, there we go.
Yeah, now you can see me. That should be better. Yes. Okay.
Yes,
Awesome.
yes, yes.
Um, have I had experiences at other pop-ups? So this is a bit different, but I do have a spa in Stratford that has products for sale. So
Okay.
that's another option, and they're not open yet, so I'm not gonna
Fair
say
enough. Fair enough.
all their information until they give me the go ahead to do that. But
Got it. Got
yeah,
it.
they'll be
Got it.
opening, I believe, tomorrow. So Stratford will have access to products too.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And currently working on some
Nice.
other opportunities too. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Oh no. So okay, so you have the pop up, so and then networking at certain places have given you the exposure, obviously.
Mhm.
And how about with your, or how did you start with being a financial advisor, actually? Because I always like to
Mhm.
get that story as well. Like, I feel like you started 5 years ago. I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. Like, how were you able to start that industry as well?
So that's specifically like insurance and investment products,
Hmm.
as well as like health and accident and sickness insurance, things like that.
Yes.
So I've been doing that for 8 years now.
Ooh.
I started while I was in university. And so
Okay.
that's been quite a journey. and I was exposed to that via my family. So
Nice.
when I became a broker, I did the testing to become licensed in Ontario, and so I have clients that I work with now and offer them like financial solutions and things like budgeting, things like um, doing needs analysis to see what products will best suit their needs and helping them to save for things like homes. And so it's really exciting, like to get here kind of 8 years later and being able to see some of my clients purchasing homes or
Nice.
starting their businesses and so on, like that, and so on. So that's been exciting. And having that business kind of led to me wanting to start a self care business, just because I wanted to. On the one hand, of course, I had this hobby that
Hmm.
I was really enjoying and wanted to craft something out of that. But in addition to that, I just came across a lot of like small business owners who have very unique needs and
Okay.
wanted to kind of dive into what those were and see them
Mhm.
for myself. And
Okay.
so by having this business, I kind of get a good idea of, what are the insurance needs, what are the risks that business owners face, and being
Yeah.
able to um, protect them from those risks, i.e., if they get disabled or if they get sick. Those are the types of things that I know how to help them manage, especially when being a business owner can sometimes have your income be very, um, what's the
Especially
word?
right now.
Yeah, it's always
Reduced.
changing,
Reduced.
right?
Yeah.
Reduced or just constantly changing. Like
Yeah.
it can be up sometimes, you can be down. And so to have like tools in place and systems in place to actually secure that is always
Hmm.
helpful.
Yeah. Nice. And you've been doing it for 8 years. Brr, 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 brr.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I started
consistency
very
is
young, yeah.
yeah. But at least um and I can only imagine how being young has had like you get the trials and tribulations because they're like oh what do you know about this and because you're young but it's like I'm hoping and I'm hoping like most of your clients respect you because you have the knowledge and able to overcome those like annoyance of someone that looks young, but they know what they're talking about. So
Yeah.
kudos to
Yeah.
you, because especially if you're in it still 8 years in the game, that means like that you have something to prove, right? So
Yeah.
big up yourself.
I have a lot of really great clients, honestly, and
Nice.
I'm grateful for that. And so with every, with every client, with every different circumstance, there's always something new. And so I truly believe that this whole experience allows me to learn quite a bit
Hmm.
about not only the clients that I serve, but also
Hmm.
about how to be creative in
Hmm.
creating financial solutions for them.
Correct. Nice. And do you ever sell them? They're like, it's the weather's getting cold. You want to make sure that your skincare
No,
is up to.
I don't really mix the two because
Okay,
the
okay.
one I go out to markets and it's very like I work
Okay.
from home currently. So when I
Mm.
work, oops. When I work from home, I find
Yeah.
that sometimes I just need something that, occasionally, like on weekends, I can get
Mhm.
out and kind of get into the
Okay.
community and be active that way. Whereas with
Nice.
this, it's with insurance, it's more so I'm communicating with my clients,
Mhm.
meeting whatever needs that they have, following up and things like
Okay.
that. So it's very different, and I don't really mix the two. But occasionally, I do give my products as gifts, and um,
That's a good
like
way
when
as
Christmas
well.
comes around or
Mhm.
when I host events, they're
Yes.
usually invited and things like that.
Nice. So you've learned how to do like a work business life balance in a way, somewhat.
Kind of, kind of. I mean,
Yes.
they're very, very different. They're very, very
Mhm.
different industries.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
But at the end of the day, like your self care is a really big part of your financial wellness, right? So
Yes.
that was a big that was a big contributor, I would say, to
Mm-hmm.
why I even started doing that in the first place, because you do need to have some sort of system in place that says, this is how I take care of me. And then
Mm-hmm.
once you have that, then you make better financial decisions, right? Because you have priorities that
Yes. I've been
make sure
hearing
that
that
you're
often.
making, yeah, things that make sure you're making good decisions, you have a
Mm-hmm.
clear mind and things like that.
Nice. And kudos to that because I feel like that is advice that um, folks need to hear, especially young, mid, older, and all that stuff. That being able to like health is wealth, and being able to kind of have a balance but have a clear mind when it comes to having your financial needs met or even keeping it stable. So I'm glad that you're able to um, have that relay that message and all that good stuff. Is there any advice you would give? Another advice that you would give someone that is looking upon starting a new business while they have a business, or even um, starting a new business, or trying to contain the business that they have for 5 plus years, let's say.
Well, you have to be very good at definitely managing your finances. That's big. And then
Mm-hmm.
you also have to be always learning. So there are, I would say, learning and networking, right? So there are a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people who have contributed to my learning over the
Mm-hmm.
past couple of years. Um, and being very wise about how I spend my money was a big piece. I
Mm-hmm.
knew that I wanted, you know, the my insurance business allows me to have residual, or yeah, residual income.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so being mindful about saving not only for myself, but also investing in my business in order to turn that into something um, is is very important. Because without being able to do that, then you can't grow in either.
True.
Um, yeah, and so definitely, managing one's time, managing one's finances, being very intentional about how they spend their money and how they spend their time. Yeah, that's literally me saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, so
No
how
worries, no
one
worries.
spends their time. So going and participating in activities and events that, would
Mm-hmm.
edify you, and making sure to be around people who value you and have similar values is a very big piece too. And then, of course, learning how to delegate. So knowing what you are skilled in and then being able to ask for help is
Delegating
big.
is very important. It's
Hmm.
like, because I'm pretty sure that before you had so many caps on your
Mm.
head, just like, oh, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. But you delegating it to others, that means you're able to be aware of the skills that you have. And you're like,
Yeah,
maybe I'm not the best at this, so I'm just gonna give it to someone else. So they're able to amplify the business and all that
yeah,
good stuff.
yeah.
Um, and how about, and I know no matter how young you are,
Hmm.
there's no hate. What are the three things you wish you knew about money growing up?
Hmm. I feel like I've been pretty fortunate because
Hmm.
I've definitely had a lot of experience around other people who are very financially literate.
Hmm.
Um, but I think my only thing would definitely be being willing to take bigger risks.
Hmm.
Um, and being conscious of the fact that when you're taking calculated risks,
Mm-hmm.
they're very rarely poor choices to make. So even if things don't necessarily go exactly the way you want them to, it can
Mm-hmm.
definitely result in something.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice. Is that three? I
I
think.
think
Oh,
so. Did I say
technically,
two?
yes, yes, yes. I feel like it's two, but you're able to get that guidance because it seems like your family
Hmm.
is in the same atmosphere or environment, so that's even a great thing. So
Yeah.
big up your parents or your family, I should say. Big up your family for being able to help you grow into the woman
Hmm.
you are and all that great stuff. And I remember, and hopefully this is not triggering for anyone, but I think it's important to talk about because I think you're the first person I've ever seen that said that they are I want to say registered safe talk trainer. Let's say it like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How were you able to, because that's something I find mental health is really important. I don't think it's mental health awareness month this month, but I do want to, you know, encourage folks to be well rounded about certain things. So, how were you able to get into that as a registered safe talk trainer?
So I have been a safe talk trainer. So what safe talk is suicide awareness training. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a company in um, Alberta that offers
Mm-hmm.
suicide awareness training
Okay.
and suicide prevention training.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got trained when I was younger and have been offering suicide awareness trainings for the past 8 years as well. Yeah, yeah. And so I go to different schools and organizations throughout Ontario and offer different trainings. Not different
Mm-hmm.
trainings, the same trainings, but with different groups. And so it's very rewarding because it definitely fits into that self care again, which is really important to me. That, being able to, I don't know if you've heard, but like entrepreneurs are one of the, their mental health is very much at risk all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And so, I come across even a lot of my fellow entrepreneurs and my peers who
Mm-hmm.
struggle with, their mental health. And, having the tools that I do have, I've found has been really, you know, um, I've been able to support the people in my networks through that.
Nice.
So
I'm
I
glad.
like to think, yeah, I like to think that the things I do kind of keep me well rounded. It keeps me busy, keeps me um, encouraged,
Mm-hmm.
especially knowing that even if I'm not directly helping someone, there are people who have trained who have been able to also help. Um,
Correct. Is
and yeah, that's
there a
definitely added to my
number?
maturity. A
Yeah. Is
number
there a
of,
number that someone can, so cuz you just it just dawned to me that it it's true. Entrepreneurs or business owners that feel like they have like a lot of things on the line, they are more pressured or into their mental health or having those type of thoughts. I would just love for folks to have a number if they ever wanted to contact someone because I think
mm,
it's very important. It the fact that you like speak to like even entrepreneurs and business owners, kudos because that is a big thing. And even like the teenagers, I've had
mm,
experiences as well, like family friends. So kudos to you for being able to um, help individuals.
thank
Like
you.
like
I
really,
mean,
like it just hit me. I was like, damn, that's big and
yeah.
stuff.
You know what? What I will say is,
Mhm.
there are a lot of different resources throughout Ontario, but
Okay.
the and it does vary based on where people are, but there are a
Mhm.
couple resources, like for example, um, depending on who you're working with. So if you're
Mhm.
dealing with so many, I personally like to use the CMHA, so the Canadian Mental Health Association's resources. So you definitely
Okay.
check out CMHA's website and give
Hmm.
them a call because the number you can call varies by region. So that would be, I would say,
True.
the most
Okay.
inclusive resource that you can tap into. And then, of course, there's Talk Suicide Canada as well. So,
Hmm.
um,
Uh, trying to think to contact. Places to contact. Boom. So I was like, which? How do I want to go about this? Contact.
and I mean, you
See.
could definitely add this in afterwards too if you
Yes. Yes.
find like in the cat in the what do you call it, the caption
Yes, in the
in
show
the
notes.
bio.
I'll put in the show notes
Mm-hmm.
for sure. It's just, I like how it just showcases and all that great stuff. And obviously if you're available as well, they could reach out to you. Um dang, it just dawned to me. I was like, that's something really important for entrepreneurs to be able to realize. Like you're able to help them with their finances, literally, wellness and health in a sense,
Yes.
mental health. So you are very well rounded. Look at you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It is
Definitely
important.
learning a lot. Definitely learning a
Mhm,
lot. So that's it's definitely rewarding. I'll say that.
mhm. And it's good that it's rewarding and you're able to, as long as you're able to save someone, whether it's financially, um, their skincare and mental health, that's
Yes.
really important. So you're well rounded.
Thank
And
you.
is
Thank you.
there anything else you would want to tell the folks? Because I know that even though you've gone to networking events in North America, I know that you're hoping to go worldwide. Is there
Hmm.
anything in the future for you to be going worldwide,
That's a great
globally?
question. That's a great question. As of right now,
Mm-hmm.
I I'm focused, like for example, on the events that I've been to
Mm-hmm.
participate in those in a different way as like
Oh,
next year. I do intend to spend some time in East Africa this winter, and so
nice.
I do see myself possibly doing a lot of networking while I'm there, vis-a-vis different events, if they're happening while I'm there, because that's another thing.
True.
But yeah, so I'm sure there are plenty of opportunities, and I'll definitely keep an eye out because I am seeing a lot of really cool networking and conferences and events that focus on entrepreneurship in Africa as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
I've been hearing
I
a
think
lot
that would
about it
be,
actually.
yeah, that would be a really great place, I think, for any entrepreneur to explore because that's a completely different worldview to kind of tap
Mm-hmm.
into. Um,
Mm-hmm. So
and then
you're telling
also,
us folks to go back to the
yeah,
motherland?
of course, I've been plenty of times, and I can definitely say that there are opportunities abound. Um, but of course, the same rules apply when you're doing any business, which is, consistency is key. Yeah, shout out Black
Absolutely.
Wealth Collective for that one. And then also, and then also, just the same personal growth and
Mhm.
awareness. All of those things can happen anywhere you go, but
True.
why not prioritize? that
True.
beautiful
And
continent with so many people. Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm hoping there is something in the works. I did go to. I don't know if you connect with ACBN,
Okay,
but
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So you missed a great one. They had like a lunch and learn, like with
Mm,
AI, and like I think it was only two individuals that's been to Ghana, and they were like, "You
mm,
guys need to go there." Like,
yeah,
and like
yeah,
legit, like I think I spent like an hour, 2 hours just listening to their experience, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, how can I go?
yeah,
How can
yeah.
I go?" So
There's
I'm glad that
so many
I
ways, and
know.
it's not as inaccessible as people think.
Hmm.
Um, it's just about time and timing
True.
definitely you need the resources, but also, it's also about
Mhm.
working with other people to make it easier for you to do. So, yeah,
True.
let me know when you're headed there because I might just come with you.
Okay, okay. And there is, I'm manifesting it. Just like you manifested InvestFest, I'm
Mm-hmm.
manifesting FinCon this month. So
Okay. Yes, all
I
fingers
just
crossed.
said it. I just said it. So then it has to happen.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
by
yeah.
all means necessary, it will
Mm.
happen and all that stuff. I'll send you that information afterwards.
Yes, please. Yes,
Um,
please.
and let's see. But it's really like last minute, trust me.
Yeah, I can imagine. You said this month or next month, so okay,
Yeah,
just let me
yep,
know.
yep,
Let me
yep.
know.
And is there anything else you'd want to tell the folks before we head out? Because we know it's you want to, it's well. I feel like everyone has their Thanksgiving dinner already, and if you
Yeah, they
haven't,
should have. Or they're eating
sorry.
it now. Actually, yeah,
Exactly,
they're probably eating it now. Um,
exactly.
as of right now, I think the only thing that I would add to this is
Mhm.
um, what you're doing is very ambitious, and by having these conversations with people, you're definitely giving people an opportunity to learn, and then of course to share in a way that is comfortable. So kudos to you for
Thank you,
inviting
thank
people to
you,
participate on this journey with you, and I wish you the best of luck, of course. And of course,
thank
if there
you.
are ways that we can support you, please be sure to let us know. And I say us because everyone
Absolutely.
who's watching, I'm
Ah, ah,
sure,
ah. Mhm.
would much appreciate the opportunity to help you or work with you in some capacity. So thank you,
I
Camille.
appreciate that. No
And of course,
problem.
we'll stay in touch. But
Absolutely, because
yeah.
now that we're locked in, even though like
Hmm.
before we're just like, yeah, we follow each other, woo! But now we actually met
Exactly.
and all that great stuff. And I'll just
Yeah.
put your contact in
Okay.
here real quick. But then
Mhm.
also, see. You want to do the most? Voila, let me fix it up a little bit. Um, Definitely want to follow you, and I'll put all your Instagram
So yeah,
handles.
my Instagram handle
Ooh, let
for
me.
insurance related business is
Mhm.
below my name right here, so Legacy Wealth.
Okay.
And then if you're looking for skincare products, you can check out sugarplumscrubs.ca. You may see um, me and or some of my employees, if I can call them that,
Mm.
at my
Ah, yeah,
events or at
nice.
pop-up events throughout the city. So if you do, say hello, and of course, um, you'll be able to find me at my email address as well. And so I'll kind of give that
Yes.
to Camille and she'll add that to the notes as well.
Actually, yes. My gosh, it's been a pleasure, and
Thank
thank you so
you.
much for your patience. And I'm glad that we were able to have this conversation, because I know we were like going back and forth, but hey, we made it happen, and
Yes,
it's
we
all
did.
good. And I'm giving you thanks for being here, because
Thank
you
you.
could have been anywhere else, but you decided to spend it with me.
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you so much.
No problem. So, folks, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and all that great stuff. We want to hear the feedback and everything. And until next time, folks. All right. Blessings. Thank you again.
Financial literacy, knowledge is a must. So link the flip boss, watch the result flash, and watch your life change. And for a better cause, you have a business or a plan and want to make it. Yeah, flip and floss, are the want to manifest it. Yeah, and if you want to better manage all your credit, call the boss. Flip and floss, no doubt, then we do it. Yeah, flip and floss, money literacy boss. Yeah, greatness in our blood because we're working for your cause. Flip and floss, money literacy boss. Yeah, boots up your knowledge for your minimal cost. Hey, yeah, flip and floss, money literacy boss. Greatness in our blood because we're working for your cause. Flip and floss, money literacy boss. Yeah, up your knowledge for your minimal cost.